308 miles per hour, 496 kilometers an hour. On a test track in Germany with a professional racing driver strapped in and a safety crew standing by, one car hit that number and held it. And when the timing gear stopped, a record that had stood since 1919 was gone. That record belonged to Bugatti. The Chiron Supersport 300 Plus, the car that smashed through the 300-mile-an-hour barrier and made everything else on the road look slow. It doesn't belong to Bugatti anymore. And here's the part that's going to annoy a lot of people watching this. The car that took it doesn't have an engine. No W16, no V12, no sound at all really. Just 4 electric motors and a battery. So today we're counting down the 5 fastest electric cars in the world in 2026. From a $2 million Italian drawn by the people who styled Ferraris, to a sedan built by a phone company that humiliated Porsche at the Nürburgring, all the way up to number 1, the car that ended Bugatti's reign. And stay with me to the end because the number 1 car isn't even the strangest part of this story. There's a twist involving Koenigsegg that changes how you should read every single number in this video. Let's start at number 5. Pininfarina. If you know that name, you know it from the little badge on the side of some of the most beautiful Ferraris ever built. For decades, this was an Italian design house. They drew the cars. Somebody else built them. The Battista is the first car they built themselves, and they went straight for the throat. 1,900 horsepower, 4 electric motors, 1 at each wheel, 0 to 60 in 1.79 seconds, quicker off the line than a Formula 1 car, and a top speed of 217 miles per hour. Here's the detail most people miss. Underneath that gorgeous carbon bodywork, the Battista shares its platform with a car much further up this list. Same architecture, same fundamental engineering. Remember that? Because when we get to number 2, you'll understand exactly why these 2 cars are related, and why one of them ended up going 50 miles an hour faster. Only 150 Battistas will ever be built, at around $2.2 million each. And honestly, of everything on this list, this is the one I'd want in my garage. It's the only electric hypercar that looks like it belongs on a concourse lawn instead of in a wind tunnel. But 217 miles an hour in 2026 only gets you 5th place, which should tell you everything about how fast this segment is moving. Now this one is going to start arguments. Xiaomi make phones, and tablets, and rice cookers. In 2024, they decided to make a car. The SU7 Ultra runs 3 electric motors, around 1,500 horsepower, and a top speed of 217 miles per hour. That's the same top speed as the $2 million Pininfarina we just talked about. It costs about $75,000. And then they took it to the Nürburgring, 12.9 miles of German forest that has been the car industry's proving ground for 50 years. The record for the fastest mass-produced electric car around that circuit belonged to the Rimac Nevera Time Attack, a 2-seat hypercar with a $3 million price tag. 7 minutes, 5.298 seconds. The Xiaomi did it in 7 minutes, 4.957. A 4-door sedan, with back seats, built by a phone company, beat a $3 million hypercar, and while it was there, it also became the fastest 4-door car ever to lap the Nürburgring of any kind, petrol, diesel, hybrid, anything, taking that title straight off the Porsche Taycan Turbo GT. If you want one sentence that explains why the European supercar industry is nervous right now, that's the one. Quick thing before we carry on, if you're enjoying this, hit that like button and subscribe because this channel covers speed records, hypercars, and the machines that rewrite the rules every single week. And leave me a comment. Does a 4-door sedan even count? I read all of them. Now, number 3 is where this gets weird. Japan. A company called Aspark, an engineering firm almost nobody had heard of until they announced they were building a hypercar. The owl is genuinely absurd. 1,953 horsepower, 4 motors, a full carbon fiber monocoque, around $3.5 million, and only 20 of them will ever exist. And in June of 2024, a version called the SP600 claimed a top speed of 273 miles per hour. Faster than the Rimac, faster than anything electric on Earth at the time. But pay attention here, because this is the twist I promised you. That number comes with conditions. The owl you can actually buy, the road legal one, the one that gets delivered to a customer, is electronically limited to 217 miles per hour. The 273 figure came from a special version, and it is a manufacturer claim. Claimed versus verified. Special version versus the car you can actually order. That distinction is the single most important thing in the entire top speed world, and manufacturers know that almost nobody checks. A number gets announced, it gets repeated, it ends up on posters and in videos, and hardly anyone asks who measured it, on what track, in which direction, and in which version of the car. Hold on to that, because in about 4 minutes, it's going to matter enormously. Mate Rimac started building electric cars in a garage in Croatia after he crashed his old BMW and rebuilt it with an electric motor. Today, his company holds a controlling stake in Bugatti. Let that land for a second. The guy from the garage now runs the company that built the Veyron. The Nevera R is his masterpiece, and unlike almost everything else in this video, its numbers are not claims. They were measured independently at the automotive testing Papenburg Proving Ground in Germany, a 12-kilometer high-speed oval where the serious records get set. 0 to 60 miles per hour, 1.66 seconds. Top speed, 268.2 miles per hour. When it ran that, it was the fastest electric car on the planet. Verified. But the number that really matters is this one. 0 to 400 kilometers an hour and back to a dead stop. 25.79 seconds. Accelerate to 249 miles per hour, then haul it back to 0 in under 26 seconds total. And the record it broke to do that? It belonged to the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute. 27.83 seconds. A Swedish VI 8 hypercar built by people who think about literally nothing except speed, beaten by 2 full seconds by a Croatian electric car. 40 of these will be built at 2.3 million euros each. And if I'd made this video 18 months ago, the Nevera R would be sitting at number 1. It isn't. Because in September of 2025, something came out of China and made the Rimac look slow. Yangwang is the luxury arm of BYD. And BYD, if that name doesn't mean much to you yet, started out making batteries for mobile phones. They now build more electric cars than anybody else on the planet. The U9 Extreme is what happens when a battery company decides to prove a point. 2,977 horsepower, 4 motors, 1 buried inside each wheel, each one spinning to 30,000 revolutions per minute. And the detail engineers actually care about, a 1200-volt electrical architecture. The first ever fitted to a production car. Double the voltage of the standard U9. That's what lets it push that much power for that long without destroying itself. On the 14th of September 2025, at that same Papenburg Proving Ground with racing driver Mark Baseng at the wheel, the Yangwang U9 Extreme was timed at 308.4 miles per hour, 496.22 kilometers an hour. The Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300 Plus had held that record since 2019 at 304.77. Gone. Beaten by more than 3 miles an hour by an electric car from a company that used to make phone batteries. And it isn't just a straight-line missile either. Weeks before that run, it went to the Nürburgring and lapped the Nordschleife in 6 minutes, 59.157 seconds, the production electric vehicle record. That's your number 1. The fastest electric car in the world in 2026, and the fastest verified production car in the world, full stop. So, have electric vehicles killed the supercar? Here's the honest answer, and it's far more interesting than a yes or a no. Go and search the phrase fastest production car in the world right now, and most lists still won't give you the Yangwang. They'll give you the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute. 5-liter twin-turbo, 1600 horsepower on E85, and a projected top speed north of 310 miles per hour. Projected. Because the Jesko Absolute has never actually run the official top speed course. The engineering case behind it is so strong that hardly anybody disputes it. Because the aerodynamics, the simulations, and the credentials are all there. But the run hasn't happened, So we've ended up with a petrol car that's fastest on paper and an electric car that's fastest on the clock. That's 2026 in a single sentence. Combustion still holds the theoretical crown. Electricity holds every number anyone has actually measured. And that gap between what a car could do and what a car has done is where this entire argument now lives. One quick note before you head to the comments. The Nürburgring runs separate leaderboards for production cars and pre-production prototypes, so times across those two classes aren't directly comparable. Worth knowing before you argue with someone about it. My take? EVs haven't killed the supercar. They've killed the excuse. For 30 years, the answer to why does this thing cost $2 million was because nothing else on Earth can do this. That is no longer true. So tell me where you land. If Koenigsegg finally runs the Absolute and clears 310, does that settle it? Or is the electric era already too far ahead to catch? Drop it in the comments. Hit like if you enjoyed this, subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and I'll see you in the next video.